Hello and welcome to another episode on Maritime Radar. The ocean is one of the vital gifts of God to man. It offers various ecosystem services that enable human existence on Earth. Covering about 1/3 of the Earth's surface, the ocean or the marine environment helps in climate regulation, providing supporting services and cultural services apart from its provision of food and medical resources. How the new Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy can position itself and tap into the numerous opportunities in Nigeria's ocean resources are some of the issues that will be on the front burner on today's show. I'm Nneoma Obi-Asualo. Nigeria stands to gain so much by embracing opportunities in the blue economy, as it offers an avenue for economic diversification away from the over-reliance on crude oil. The fisheries and aquaculture sector holds immense potential for Nigeria's economic development. With a coastline stretching over 850 kilometers, Nigeria possesses abundant fishery resources. However, due to limited infrastructure, outdated fishing techniques, and inadequate regulatory frameworks, Nigeria's fishing sector remains largely underdeveloped. Therefore, investing in modern fishing technologies, improving infrastructure, and implementing effective regulations, Nigeria can significantly increase its fish production, both for domestic consumption and export. This would not only boost the economy but enhance food security and alleviate poverty in coastal communities. The blue economy brings with it opportunities in maritime transport, as over 80% of global trade is moved by sea. Renewable energy is another opportunity the blue economy offers, as Nigeria's vast water resources provides an ideal environment for the development of hydroelectric power and other forms of renewable energy. Coastal tourism also provides a huge opportunity, as Nigeria's beautiful coastline, diverse marine ecosystems is an attractive destination for both domestic and international tourists. Before we get further into today's lineup on the program, let's find out the latest in maritime news.
The president of the Nigerian Hydrography Society and hydrographer of the Navy, Rear Admiral Ayo Olubode, has called for collaboration among stakeholders to optimize Nigeria's blue economy potential. While speaking at a seminar aimed at advancing the hydrography profession in the country, Olubode noted that the support of the Chief of the Naval Staff was critical to improving Nigeria's hydrographic capacity for improved maritime safety and security. A statement by the Director of Naval Information, Commodore Didotun Ayovogan, said that part of the interactions centered on deepening multidimensional collaborations with hydrography professional clusters and cohorts. Ayovogan emphasized the need for hydrographers to play their critical role towards enhancing Nigeria's maritime aspirations, particularly with the recent establishment of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. The Acting Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewunmi, has said that the Nigeria Customs Service will implement every necessary action against saboteurs of Nigeria's economy, with a commitment to cripple their illegitimate smuggling businesses. Adewunmi stated this when he received ambassadors of the United Nations Human Settlements Program, UN Habitat, led by Raymond Edo, at the customs headquarters in Abuja. Adewunmi promised to grant the United Nations team every needed support to carry out this campaign. The UN team will engage officers and men of the service in capacity building to enhance their understanding of digital literacy skills. CMA-CGM has announced new port congestion surcharges from all ports globally to Cotonou in Benin Republic and Dakar in Senegal. The French carrier will implement a $150 per TEU surcharge on dry and reefer containers destined for these ports. Payment for the surcharges is expected to be made on a pre-freight basis. The Marseille-based CMA-CGM noted that for cargo from the United States, U.S. territories, Colombia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Panama, Venezuela, Argentina, and Ecuador. The surcharge will go into effect on October 5th, 2023. The Gambia is receiving support for the development of its National Oil Spill Contingency Plan, which is an effective foundation for an effective and sustainable oil spill preparedness and response framework. A workshop held in Banjul under the framework of the GIWACAF project familiarized 40 national stakeholders and government professionals involved in oil pollution response with the roles and responsibilities that need to be addressed prior to and during an oil spill. An action plan was produced to facilitate ongoing development of an effective national oil spill preparedness and response framework. The workshop was delivered through IMO's Integrated Technical Cooperation Program and forms part of the organization's commitment to supporting African small island developing states and least developed countries in the effective implementation of OPRC's convention.
Africa is rising. Again, we hear our sounds echo on the other side. Afrobeat and Afropop reinvented, hip life brought back to life, new energy infused into Kwaito and Kwela. Africa is balling. Every stroke, every shot, every raise, we find our place at the top. Taking the helm of real power, new hopes for democracies. A breed of entrepreneurial tigers, audacious storytellers, and a promising generation raring to go. Truly, Africa is rising. And this is where the stories that define our continent live.
If you're just joining us, this is Maritime Radar. To fully harness the potential and resources in the marine and blue economy, government must invest in modern technologies, improve infrastructure, implement effective regulations, embrace collaborations, and promote sustainable practices. This package shares stakeholders' views on the prospects of the blue economy and special nuggets that the new Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy can tap into to restore Nigeria's maritime industry. Stay with us.
Sustaining life below the water, blue economy is the totality of activities that explore, develop and use the ocean's resources, occupy the ocean space and protect the ocean's ecosystems. These include the traditional industries, new and developing industries such as blue carbon, that is, the carbon stored in mangrove, seagrass and salt marsh ecosystems, new aquaculture products and marine renewable energy. The blue economy sector holds immense potential for economic development, job creation, and providing livelihoods to coastal community, as experts estimate it to be worth more than $1.5 trillion per year globally. It can also provide over 30 million jobs and supply a vital source of protein to over 3 billion people. Nigeria, on the move to maximize these immense potentials, created the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, which has been vested with the responsibility of harnessing these huge marine resources. Experts say will unlock infrastructural and technological development, increase food production, ensure smart ports and renewable energy. The call also to embrace floating assets, improve indigenous participation in shipping business, and most importantly, investing in fleets that fly Nigeria's flag are some of the tasks ahead of the new minister.
I think to avoid the collapse of the port, we need to rehabilitate the port as a matter of urgency. Then dredging has to continue. And then we can put all the other things in place.
Nigeria stands to gain so much by embracing opportunities in the blue economy as it offers an avenue for economic diversification away from the over-reliance on crude oil. The fisheries and aquaculture sector holds immense potential for Nigeria's economic development. With a coastline stretching over 850 kilometers and 200 nautical miles, Nigeria possesses abundant fishery resources. There is also a definite need for explicit recognition of what constrains women's contribution to the development of Nigeria's blue economy.
The creation of the Blue Marine and Blue Economy Ministry has been long awaited because the Transportation Ministry is vast and huge, and attention has not really been paid to the marine and the blue economy sector of the Transportation Ministry. Therefore, the creation of this Blue and Marine Economy Ministry is a new frontier, and it will open up the non-oil sector of the economy. And apart from the oil, that is now the economy in the oil boom is ebbing, seriously ebbing. There is need to focus and refocus attention on the blue economy because contains huge potentials and resources that is yet untapped. So I must commend the federal government for this initiative. And as I said, it's a huge economic benefit that is accruable from it. So it's good, and the attention should also be paid into our inland waterway development. Nigeria has a lot of inland waterways traversing the length and breadth of the country. There is need for development, the widening, the dredging of these inland waterways to develop our local inland coastal services. The development of our inland coastal services will help in the transportation of agricultural products from the rural agricultural areas to the cities, to the seaports. It will also help to reduce the risk and cost of road transportation. When we develop our inland waterways, there will be potential for the growth of the coastal waterways, apart from carrying passengers, for also carrying agricultural products, especially the areas that is not covered by the rail. So these are some of the benefits that is accruable. Of course, it has to be sustainable, and it has to be regulated properly. It shouldn't be an all-comers affair. It should be properly regulated, and it should also be developed strategically. It has to be inclusive, it has to be sustainable. And when I mean there is need for this blue economy to be integrated in the National Development Plan, so there will be order in it. There should be inclusivity in terms of all the stakeholders. All the stakeholders that are involved should be included so that everybody's interest and area of expertise should be harnessed and utilized for the benefit of the country and the economy of the country. Therefore, attention should be paid to the inland waterways. Attention should be paid to new frontiers in the economy, such as the deep sea mining. Deep sea mining is one new area that needs development. Ship repairs, growing our seafarers, all this will expose them. Emerging trends such as marine biotechnology, deep sea mining, renewable energy, and marine and ecotourism. This is a new area that has not really been developed, which is lying fallow, marine and ecotourism. We need to develop that. So the creation of this ministry has opened up a vista of possibilities and potentials for the Nigerian economy.
To achieve a sustainable and equitable blue economy, these three actionable points become apt: creating awareness and sensitization, developing a clear blue economy policy, the implementation process, monitoring and evaluation. In achieving a successful awareness, a clear definition of blue economy that respects ecosystem integrity should be conveyed, outlining the blue economy decision-making processes, putting into consideration that the only secure pathway to long-term prosperity is through the development of a circular economy. A sustainable blue economy policy should be inclusive, as policy formation process should include the consultation of experts. Policy framework should encompass all the sectors but identify high priority areas, while government creates an environment that will increase quality jobs and stimulate the economy.
I think government should move away from focusing so much on public servants running in, but bringing in private sector individuals who can run businesses and begin to take off, because there are so many subsets from the operational side of things, for the commercial side of things, which can drive the economy. I mean, first of all, we look at the issue of ship owning and vessel management. We also look at the issue of port operations. How can we operate our ports to be more efficient? We also look at the issue of maritime pollution. Also, we look at the issue of security. I mean, these are areas which, if given to proper private sector person, can run it properly, but also generate revenues and also reduce the cost of doing business in the maritime sector.
To also actualize this similarly lofty ambition is a call for the application of this framework to guide the marine and blue economy on policies bordering on the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, CVFF, and increased indigenous participation in shipping.
The Blue and Marine Economy Ministry is in a position to actually diversify our economy from the oil base to blue economy. Aside from this, it has opportunity of providing jobs for people that are looking for jobs here and there because of the enormous opportunity that are in that economy. Can provide food security in terms of fishery, tourism, and all those things. Aside from this, when you look at it from Nigeria Shipowners Association, the government should be able to work towards releasing the CVFF fund for the real operators of the industry. When they do this, we are in a position to create more employment so that the coast will not be dominated by the foreign participants.
As Nigeria commences its voyage of transiting from crude to blue economy, stakeholders are calling for the sustainable use of marine resources for future's sake and seek friendly policies that will encourage many to participate in this promising industry, which is a new path of increasing options of growing Nigeria's gross domestic product. This has made stakeholders say the success of this new ministry will be determined by implementation of laws, policies, and by collaborating among maritime key players and other sub-sectors.
The Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, as has been set up, has a significant potential to drive economic development for the country. And this is because beyond the traditional maritime transportation and shipping economy that we know, which constitutes of shipping, ports, terminals, and the related aspects which we have been dealing with under the Ministry of Transport, we have an opportunity to develop a completely new vista across economic benefits that derive from the oceans, which we haven't tapped into. It also gives us the impetus to more strategically drive activity along the waterways of the hinterlands. So the inland waterways and the oceans converge in a new vista that opens up new economic frontiers for the country. Now, I'd said it before that Nigeria's exclusive economic zone stretches beyond 200 nautical miles. It is traditionally 200 nautical miles, but I do know that in recent time, there have been agreements and commitments to grant Nigeria access to beyond 200 nautical miles of its shore as exclusive economic zone. Now, even with the 200 nautical miles, what we have is an area that is equal in land size to about 350,000 square kilometers. So imagine that you have exclusive control over this area, which is at the very least 1/3 of the Nigerian land space in which to undertake economic activity, which includes undersea mining, aquatic research, fishing, tourism, and absolutely every other kind of economic activity that is known to man, that is available for us to work within. So what we need to do now is to ensure that we marry this new WISTA with the traditional components of the maritime economy in a framework that ensures efficiency and that ensures that we optimize the value that is available. That's what we need to do.
A sustainable blue economy will harvest its full potential and realize social economic development in a smart, sustainable and inclusive way. If our resources and the environment is balanced and the responsible use of our shared resources is ensured, both present and future generations will enjoy the extreme benefit from its economic diversification, fishery and aquaculture, maritime transport, renewable energy, coastal tourism, amidst many others.
You wake up to a lot of stories about Africa.
But this is where you get the story straight.
Where we explore different angles because we understand our stories.
There's that passion when it's your perspective and not a distant perception.
I know you hear it a lot, but it's true. Nobody can tell your story better than you.
That's what we do.
All day, every day.
On News Central TV.
Our African stories by Africans for Africans. News Central TV, Africa's #1 storyteller, has come with the best of both worlds. With a combination of news app and live TV, we ensure that you keep track of the latest headlines, breaking news, and in-depth analysis from professional journalists from around the continent. Download the News Central TV app on Android and iOS and get started today. Don't forget to follow us on News Central's social media platforms. News Central, Africa first.
And that's our show this week. I hope you learned something. I did. Join us every week on Maritime Radar as we explore potentials that will ensure the development of the maritime sector in Africa. You can also expect the latest in global and local maritime news, plus industry insights right here. I'm Nneoma Obi-Asualo. Many thanks for your time on today's show. See you again next week.